Hey! Woo! Folk Friday release day! Yes! With LJR.
What's going on, guys?
What's
Up,
up,
Eli?
dude? Good to see you.
Ooh, all right.
Congratulations on our new song out today, my man.
Yeah, man, right back at you. This is this is my favorite song I've released in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Luke. I think I think I would echo that sentiment. And we went in on this one. It's called Follow the Mother Home, and it is out now on all the things, which is pretty cool.
It is.
Let me get like a ticker going on. Get like a, you know, like a news ticker, and then let's see if that works. That'd be cool. Like we're like in a news broadcast.
I like that. Oh, nice. I just double checked my automation to make sure it sent out all the texts, and I manually moved it forward so that it didn't look like it didn't trigger yet to actually text
Okay.
something. I just like manually triggered it, so it should happen now.
Nice. Yeah, we're sending text. Let's give a shout out to folks who are in the stream. We've got Jill Cohen. Good afternoon,
What's up, Jill?
dear Jill.
Amy,
We've got Amy
Megan
here.
Phillips,
What's up, Megan Phillips?
Judy,
And
Alice,
Judy's here. Howdy, Judy.
Vandy. I've
All
never heard that name before.
right.
Vandy and Jeremy,
Howdy, Vandy K, Jeremy.
Andrea, and Martha.
We
Yeah.
got the crew here.
What's up,
Luke,
guys?
what do you call your community, your music community?
It's had a couple different names.
Okay.
Right now, my Facebook group is called the LJ Army.
The LJ Army.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Love it.
Which is a little bit of a pun. I haven't been as active with that particular Facebook group. I was trying to move it over to Discord. I just started calling it like just the LJR community. Um,
Awesome.
I didn't have a particular name for the Discord group, um, but I still post in the Facebook group. So, what's
Great. So we
up,
got the
Andy?
LJ, we got
Still
the LJ
following?
Army, the LJR community, and we got the levitators in full effect today.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Regis,
go.
Valerie, welcome, guys.
We've got a brand new song out featuring our moms, featuring our mothers. It's the world premiere of our mothers
That's right.
collaborating with us.
Yep. I'm
Um,
pretty pumped about that.
I am pretty pumped too. Maybe let's let's kind of talk about why we did this song, how it came together, and then we'll listen to it and maybe talk about some of the lyrics. And has anybody in the chat heard the song "Follow the Mother Home"? Have you heard the song? Let us know in the chat, and if not, I'll put the link to listen to it just so you can if you haven't.
Yeah, let's put it in. Be excellent. I'm gonna also just grab my link for that, which obviously is the
All right.
same link, but
Amy has read it. Amy says, really love that song. Thank you, Amy. And happy
hey,
Folk
Nicole.
Friday.
Hello, user KV5LM6VD2Q.
All right, nice one. Alice
Judy,
says,
welcome.
yes, it's wonderful.
Awesome.
Lib Owen, Li Bowen heard it and loved it. That's actually my mom right there. So, hi, mom.
All
Welcome to the
right.
stream.
So one of the features is here.
She's here. This is
Go, mom.
great. So, Andrea has not heard it yet. We'll hear it on this stream, Andrea, so no worries.
Yeah.
And Megan says the song is so amazing. I think so
Thanks,
too.
Megan. Yeah, let's chat about the song. I love how the song turned out. I think one of the big things for me is this is the first co-write I've done in a long time. So most of everything else I've done has been covers, and I love doing covers. They're a lot of fun. I like reimagining things, and but the covers are also a little bit safer in terms of, you don't like, kind of what it's going to turn into. It might be, different textures, but your structure, your lyrics typically are the same unless you're really doing something super different. And a lot of the time, I wasn't doing something crazy different. Like the structure would be about the same, lyric order would be about the same. We weren't doing it dramatically. Even like when you and I did our "You Should Probably Leave," we did a genre change, lower energy, but still sort of same structure. So that basic foundation was there, but you don't get that with an original song. And that's where I thought, it was really cool to go through that process with you, Eli, because I know that sometimes like I get a little bit attached to certain ideas and stuff like that. And I've noticed in certain contexts, sometimes if I have a strong opinion, things can get weird with another person who doesn't know how to interact with the strong opinion, I guess. And I don't feel like I'm unwilling to change. I just feel like we want to like actually engage in that, and it can get weird. Um, and I feel like we had a couple of those moments, but it wasn't like it didn't actually get weird. It was just like we had strong different opinions, and we just talk through it. And I thought that was really cool. We can always dive into that particular phrase later. I think that could be fun. But yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I got to grow a lot through this whole thing, and it was a very deep emotional, song. I think for both of us, and the way that it came together, was just really special.
Yeah, I think it was a very special collab, and we did so well on that cover song, the Chris Stapleton cover. You should probably leave, and we had such a cool vibe with that too. You just had this very
Yeah,
understated piano, had a little bit of guitar finger picking. We're like, let's translate that vibe into an original song.
yeah, totally.
And I do have to say, thank goodness I was late to our co-write session
That's right.
because I got there late, and then you said, Eli, check this out. This just kind of came up while you were on your way here, and it was that first piano line. And I was just like, bro, this is gorgeous. We didn't even know what the song was going to be about. You just had that piano line.
Yeah.
It's like da 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 da. Shall we listen to it?
Yeah, let's listen to it. Yeah, and
Let's
with
listen
that
to it.
line, I'll say this real quick. It was funny because there was some TikTok video I saw that had just this gorgeous piano part, and that part I loved it a lot, and it definitely inspired this part. I don't even remember what the song was, um, but I wanted to recreate that kind of feeling, and yeah, I loved it. I was so glad that you liked it because I was like, this is so cool, but I didn't know
Yeah.
like we want it almost felt sort of sad, and I wasn't sure if we wanted something like that. So yeah, but I'm glad you
Yeah.
loved it, and yeah, it worked out.
Let's listen to just the piano part, just so we get a vibe, and then let's
Yeah,
listen on Bandcamp.
let's do it. There it is.
Wow, what a vibe! Where did that come from, and how did that line come up for you?
Um, I guess I mean it was kind of what I was saying earlier, like I'd heard some type of line on TikTok where there's a little bit of that sort of like the bring kind of thing, and I
Hmm.
liked that a lot. Is the chords were kind of very um almost a little bit jazzy, not really, but that kind of like little jump that a bring, bring, doo-doo-doo-doo, bring, that type of thing. Um, that's where that kind of inspiration came from. And I just thought like, man, if I could create my own thing that's, has that sort of feeling to it. And so I just kind of took the melody that I had heard and I was like, let me change this and see like, can I create something that feels similar? And it worked great. And I was really happy with how it came out. And the timing for the ending of it, I was because it kind of like do 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 that last hit is kind of like earlier than you'd normally expect it to be, and I thought that would be cool as a a change for it because there are songs that I really liked. I think "People Get Ready" is the one I'm thinking of. Remember that
Mm,
song?
yeah.
People get ready. There's a train a coming,
Mm-hmm.
picking up passengers from coast to coast. And there's this dee 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 dee
Mm-hmm.
dee 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 dee
Get
dee
on
dee, right?
home. Yeah.
And I loved that kind of way that it ended. And I thought if we could bring that sort of feeling into the piano here, that could be really cool.
Yeah. And
So
you did. And it started there. It started with that kind of melody, and we didn't even know what the song was about. We didn't really have an agenda. We didn't have a title. We didn't have anything.
yep.
And then we were like, well, what is this? What does this feeling bring up,
Yeah.
kind of, in us? And Kay
That was I would
says,
just want to give you a shout out for that because
yeah,
um, I don't know if you guys know, at least this is maybe you don't always do this, but Eli has like a really cool process for exploring song ideas and doing co-writes, which I could tell was very thought through and seemed like it was something that you've either done a number of times or have like read about different ways to do it or seen different ways that people have done it where you really had a great way of sort of guiding that co-write of like, hey, let's listen to the song and think about what feelings come up. Let's just write those down. We listened to it together. We wrote down things separately, not looking at what each other were doing, what we were writing, and then talk through it, like what those feelings were. And then we did it again, thinking through like, well, what kind of lyrics or lines, kind of come up. And that's when we kind of started writing some general, lines, and that's where that sort of follow the mother
mm,
idea came up because like for me I remember I was feeling like this just feels like a sense of home, like there's a sense of nostalgia and longing for that,
yeah,
and the images I was getting were of like fields and these fences and like a yard that you grow up in and have all this playtime in, and this feeling of like you're going to get called home by your mom at the end of the day, for
yeah.
dinner, and to that sense of safety.
Yeah, and that was there's two themes that kind of came out. It was the home theme and the mom theme and like the coming back kind of theme.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think that we actually started with the first verse. So why don't we let's listen to the song
Hmm.
and then let's do just the first verse and we'll kind of talk about that, how that led to the next song, how
Yeah.
that led to the next part of the song.
What have I done in the name of love? Do I still know my name written in my blood? Have I lost hope in a world alone? Try to hear the voice of a call I used to know. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home.
All right, so let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Where did these kind of first lyrics come from? And they were almost like placeholders, if I remember. You're like, these probably won't be the lyrics, but let's just start with these and go from there.
Yeah. Well, I think we had two sessions. We had a remote session and then we had an in-person session. The in-person session, you wanted to have after the first remote session was let's come up with like, I kind of had the idea for the piano part, and you're like, let's think about what this feels like. Sorry, no, that first one was in person, and we were coming up with ideas. Actually, I'm trying to remember the exact order of this. Oh, because maybe I didn't have the piano part done yet. It's like we were. I
Right.
really don't remember the order of this. It's maybe you remember better. Um,
Yeah. You had the
But
piano part first. We came over, thought about what it might be, and then we wrote down some lyrics on our own. And these were the ones that you wrote down
yeah. Okay.
first. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So it was after our first, session, we were kind of, talking about that. But yeah, these are just like you were thinking, let's have two different versions of the song. Let's each kind of write a version of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see what each comes up with, and we can kind of blend them together, and see what we like. Um, and so I just sort of started, trying to write like what, came to my mind as I was, playing the chords. And the chords were you had this idea. I was leaning more towards doing something more like that, more complicated part in the beginning versus what the verse ended up being, which is a lot more simple, just kind of like
Yeah,
ding, ding.
super simple.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I think worked out great. When at first you're like, oh, let's just do something like, nice and simple. And I actually didn't like that at the beginning. I was like, I don't know that this is going to work. Um, and then, but it was just in there, and I was like, well, I'll just, write some things and just the words kind of, pour it out here while looking at um, while listening to the song and just trying to sing along and looking at the lyrics that we had. And so I just tried to, write down some of those, things that came out, and, tweak a little bit of it. I don't try to, um, rhyme everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of them kind of rhyme and a lot of them don't. That's part of why I wasn't sure if this would be like the one that we wanted.
Right.
Um, and
And
I
what?
also didn't know how much this felt like home or how it fit into that narrative.
Right.
That's part of why I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be the one. But then you came in and were like, um, you saw kind of how this could be like a first verse in the sense of how you wonder like where am I in my life? You're kind of feeling this sense of loss, and then you remember that call of your mom. That essential, and in my mind, I'm thinking of like when I'm out playing and I get far away, and I've been playing all day. My mom calls me home. Like that's the visual in my mind. But also like when you get older in your life, you end up making a lot of choices, and you wonder like do I really like know who I am? Do I feel like I made good choices? Would my mom, be happy, with this? Do I still know like who I am, or am I kind of lost, and trying to follow, listen for that voice as a way to come home? I think you kind of guided it toward that, and I think as we go into the other two verses, I think people will really hear, the direction of where it went to.
Yeah, I think these first lyrics are so compelling because the first lyric is like, "What have I done in the name of love?" And it's like, "Oh my goodness, what have I done in the name of love? I don't even know." You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
already thinking about my life, and then do I still know my name written in my blood? Like to me, that's like that's deep, right? That's like family ties, but it's also like blood is just this raw material. You know what I mean? Like literally
yeah,
our raw physical material has been created,
and it's
through
unchanging. Like you can't change your blood, right?
right.
So it's
And
like this,
then
you know.
yeah, so and I just love this last line, try to hear a voice of a call I used to know. And then I'm wondering, like, how did you come up with the follow? Like, how did you do that? Because you came up with that part. That was pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean that was just we loved that line, "Follow the mother home." That just seemed like this great line, and so I just wanted to bring that into the chorus. And so, once we kind of, I was saying through this verse part as the lyrics were kind of flowing out, and when you get to the end of a verse, you kind of feel a sense of where it should go, but
Yeah.
you don't know exactly what it is. You just sort of feel it. So, it's like, "Have I lost hope in a world alone? Try to hear the voice of a call I used to know. Dun, dun, dun." And then it's like, okay, there's tension here. How do I
Yep.
resolve it? And it just sort of flowed out.
Mm,
And I thought the
mm,
follow, like
mm.
splitting up fa follow could be interesting. But that
Yeah.
even that just sort of flowed out.
Really
Um,
cool.
so
Amazing. Well, let's say hey to the chat, and then we'll get to the second verse. We've got Janine here. What's up, Janine? So good to see you.
up Janine.
And
Lavender.
Sherry says, love this song.
Thank you, Sherry.
Martha May, great collaboration. Sherry's here. What's up?
Thank you, Kay. She says all her daughters loved it too.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback from folks of like, I sent this to my mom, or sent this to my son, or sent this to my friend, or sent this to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So beautiful. Let's go through. Let's go to the second verse
Let's
and
do it.
see how that kind of rounds out the song. And we'll start from the beginning here. And here we go. Through open field.
What have I done in the name of love? Do I still know my name written in my blood? Have I lost hope in a world alone? Try to hear the voice of a call I used to know. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home.
Through open fields into your arms, a peaceful strength to keep me safe from harm. How would you feel? Should I say I'm sorry? Now we're grown. Would you look on me with pride? Though I'm lost and hardly pure, I'll follow the mother home.
Follow the mother home. Follow the mother.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, thanks, Caleb. You rock, man.
So second verse.
Yeah, Eli, tell us about this verse. I feel like you were very heavily involved in the writing of this. I know obviously we wrote it, together, but tell me what you remember about our process here.
Oh man. Well, I think that the first verse was about that introspection, right? So
Hmm.
it's like kind of like this conversation with ourselves. And I thought it was set up beautifully, like, because it's kind of like trying to hear the voice of a call I used to know, and then we have the chorus. So the
Which is the
second
call.
verse, right, which is the call. So the second verse I was like, well, let's go into that call. Let's talk about what that is and what that means.
Yeah.
Um, so so I was like, okay, well, let's develop that. And then like as you were saying, like when you're a kid and you hear the dinner bell, you like run. And I was like, well, let's make that a little bit more intense and like more cinematic. So through open fields, um, into your arms, like that feeling. Okay, so what is that feeling? Let's remember that feeling that we're talking about.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get a little emotional talking about this, but that's okay.
Oh, dude, I'm definitely I get emotional a lot these days. It's like it's made my life so much richer. I used to really
Really?
resist it. I mean, I used to dissociate and just shut it all down. I couldn't even, but it took me a lot of work to like get back to that. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful. So I love it, man. Some manly tears. Let's see them, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just that feeling of a mother's love. And you know what? A lot of folks haven't felt that. And so I'm aware of that when we're writing this song. Like, people have complicated relationships with their mothers. And I have been very lucky and very fortunate to have that motherhood early in life, growing up in life, and still now. And that's a really kind of precious thing. And so the more we were writing this song, the more I realized it was for us and our mothers and that relationship, but also for others to connect with that, the mother, the archetype of that care.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of invoke that in this second verse, and also to be like, how would you feel? How have I done? Should I say I'm sorry? Would you be proud? Just like you said in that first verse, now we're grown, would you look on me with pride? Because there's another layer in this song, and that's Mother Earth to me. Like, we have been born from the world, from this earth. We are part of it. We are one of its creatures. Like, is Mother Earth proud of us? You know what I mean? For what we're doing too, and it wants us to grow, wants us to be okay, and to be nurtured. So all those layers, I was like, how do I fit all this into this second verse? And so it's just like, just metaphor, and people can kind of find the meaning that they need from the song.
Yeah.
And I think it really works. I think like people that have a loving relationship with their mothers or might not have, or it's complicated, at least this song is like the sonic expression of that connection. And I think
Yeah.
we both of us are very lucky that we've had that with our moms.
Yeah. I totally agree. And it's interesting. I think you hit the nail on the head with like this verse is trying to connect with that feeling, right? It's like it's almost like you hear the call and now you're going back. It's like you've journeyed out to the edge of your sort of life or the edge of the yard or all the things that you've experienced and you're wondering like, am I in the right place? Have I done things well? And then you listen for like the call to hear and then this is like, okay, let's go back. Let's go and see mom, go back to that sense of safety and reconnect with that. And you're running through the open field into her arms. And that's, I think, especially where like what you said, what does that feel like? There's a peaceful strength you get from that keeps you safe from harm. I think also here we had a couple more rhymes, which I think were nice. That kind of reinforces a sense of, I don't know, togetherness a little bit more.
Yeah,
And the idea of like, how would you feel? Should I say I'm sorry? Now we're grown. Would you look on me with pride? I think that's like it's kind of connecting again to that sense of like, how do I? It's almost like you're looking for reassurance. You're okay, you know, because we'd like to think that when you're an adult, you're going to make all the right decisions and you know what you're doing. And the reality is like, no, like we're all just trying to figure it out. And having somebody that can kind of tell us, that, hey, you did good. But
you did good. Yeah.
there's like this wonder, like, should I say I'm sorry? Like that's also a thing that mothers get you to do when you're younger. It's like you should say you're sorry.
Right, exactly. Say you're
Um,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're grown. Would you look on me with pride? That's something I think we
Yeah.
all really, want. Um, and then this line. This is a very interesting line. This like, though I'm lost and hardly pure.
Yeah, dude. Wow. That goes
Yeah.
in.
Um, that I remember writing that line, being like, where is this coming from? Um, and this is, I think there's this sense of, um, I know that there are mistakes I've made.
Hmm.
I know that I've made some big ones, and I've hurt people, I've done things that I didn't realize in the moment I was doing. Maybe some things I just didn't want to face and didn't want to have to deal with. Um, and I've regretted those choices. So it's like feeling those things. You know, as you're also wondering like, how did I do? Like you're seeing the whole picture. It's not just like, oh, just tell me I'm a great kid. You're like you're seeing the whole thing. You're like, I don't know how great I've done, you know. But in the
Hmm.
midst of that, like I'm still going to choose to follow, you know, that call. So
And just to add on that, Luke, I feel like the world is run by a bunch of boys behaving badly these days. You
yes,
know, I feel like the power structure is a bunch of men slash boys who have not been listening to their mothers and have not been treating people kindly. And for
I
some
agree.
reason, I don't know why, have been rewarded for that. So, this song is at once personal, very personal. It's also about the natural world. And I would say it's also about, us as a people and a society, like needing to
Hmm.
get back to that love, that matriarchal compassion, and that care that I feel like we've kind of maybe come out of alignment with, lost track. And I know probably the people who maybe some people will hear this song and like be able to reconnect to that. And maybe they don't, but maybe the song will just affect the vibration in the world just a little bit towards that kind of that love and that care and that connection.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I feel like there's been a loss of way, maybe personally and collectively, and that I feel like getting back to ourselves and our families and our love and our connection with the earth and each other. I think that's the direction. That's home.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I think one of the special things about this song is that it hits on so many different layers of experience. And I think that's part of what a really good song does, and a really good story, a really good, like a really good myth, right? There's so many different levels that it applies in society, from the personal to the community to the larger, you know, group. And I think one of the special things about writing this song was, you know, like you were saying, we both had, you know, good experiences with our moms growing up. I mean, no experience is perfect. Plenty
Right.
of like ways in which I, you know, blamed my mom for X thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and but thankfully we've been able to really work hard to work through it. And but not everybody was lucky enough to have that experience. Like you were saying, and so I think this leads perfectly into the next section, which we can listen to with the bridge, which is the part where like I get emotional every time.
Yes.
Um, my friends have gotten emotional. That's
Yes.
typically the part that like really gets people, is like, this can be a song that hopefully can be something that helps people who never had that, or struggle with a really complex relationship or painful relationship with their mom, to maybe
Mhm.
hear like the things that they never heard, the things that they need to hear.
Yeah.
And this is where we got our moms to feature, and
We did
oh
the
my god,
world premiere of our mothers. Shall we listen? And then we
yeah,
have a
let's
very
do it.
special guest
Yeah,
after this part as well. So let's listen to the song from the top. We're gonna listen to the whole thing now, all the way through, and then we'll connect at the end with a very special guest.
let's do it.
What have I done in the name of love? Do I still know my name written in my blood? Have I lost hope in a world alone? Try to hear the voice of a call I used to know. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home.
Through open fields into your arms.
away from home, how would you feel? Should I say I'm sorry? Now we're grown, would you look on me with pride? Though I'm lost and hardly pure, I'll follow the mother home. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home.
Being a mother means nurturing, sacrificing, learning, growing. As a mother, I just love what my children, who my children are.
It's joy. It's always joy. I never feel anything but joy when I see you. I never feel anything but joy when I hear you're coming. There just isn't anything that changes that. And I will always be here, no matter what happens. I'm not going anywhere.
Call us back again. To where our story began. The dawn will give a dawn back to a mother's love. Though I'm lost and hardly pure, I'll follow the mother home.
All my life, I have loved you.
Oh man, that's good. Oh, man,
yeah.
that's so good. Ah.
I'm feeling that right now.
Oh my goodness. Let's bring on the star of the show.
Oh man, is your mom here? All right.
Hey, Mama.
I think you should both say you're sorry for making me cry just before you got me on this. Every single time I hear the whole thing, it does that. That last
Mom.
part gets me the most.
Yeah.
The last like 6 or 8, I don't know how many lines. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you for being part of it, and thanks for raising me to be able to feel that love, and thanks for sharing your words on what a mother means.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to be part of a collab. Isn't a collab usually you knowingly come together and work together,
Yes.
not you're
Yes, it is.
secretly recorded in a one party?
I was actually wondering about that because I was like, it sounds like they're in the car, like he's just trying to have a conversation. Like, did he know? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a little interview session.
I'm over it.
Yeah. You
I
did
know.
great.
Really beautiful.
It's for good purpose.
It was for a good purpose.
And your voices, both of you, just sound amazing on that.
Thank you.
And you blend together so nicely.
We've got a good blend. Yeah, it's like we're our voices aren't too far away from each other, but they're definitely different. You can tell who's singing when. So yeah, it's a really good sound.
And I like the layers, Eli. There are always layers, and I don't usually see all of them. So thank you for the explanation.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever layer people connect in is fantastic, but just I feel like there's a lot of different ways to connect to the song.
There goes LJR. It's getting to him too.
Yeah. Well, it's. I think I hit it mostly, but the tear was kind of getting a little wet there. I had to wipe it
Coming
away.
in waves, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think one of the things that's interesting is it makes more sense now. Now I know that like it was a, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a surprise recording, shall we say? Because Eli or because Felix and I in the mixing room, we were trying to like. I didn't really even think about this, but I told my mom like, hey, like, do you want to be part of this, song we're doing? Here's kind of the context and
Oh, she
everything.
knew.
So she knew, yeah. So I set up a little Zoom recorder. So it wasn't an iPhone mic in the car, and which I think it both worked great. But it was funny because of the mixing, we had to match the tones. So Felix was really doing a lot of like fancy footwork or handwork or whatever you call it in there with the mouse, and like doing like processing them to try to get the iPhone mic recording in the car like denoised enough to kind of like match the other one, and then adding a little bit on mine to kind of make it, because we liked some of the texture of it not being perfect. Like that's part of
Yeah.
the sense that it feels like a real family recording.
Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah, it's cool.
Eli had taken me and his dad away for Mother's Day weekend a few days before. And I had brought as a surprise a photo album that I started when he graduated from high school. It was supposed to be his whole life, but I only got through 2 years. And then I added some things at the end and a few things throughout. So he's taken pictures, and then it just seemed like a natural segue, I guess, that he started asking me what it's like to be a
Ah,
mother. He was not suspicious at all. Next time I'll ask if you're recording me if it's something important.
You did good. Yeah, let's talk about that album art. Can
Yeah.
you
oh
guys can
yeah,
you guys see this? Can you see this?
I can see it. Are you
Mom,
asking
can you
me?
see this?
Can everybody else see this?
Yep. I see it.
All
Excellent.
right. So what are these photos?
You know what I liked about this? Some of the scenes that LJR has on here, they're like the backyard is our backyard.
Right.
Mm.
Kid on the trike, whatever. That could be you or your sister.
Right.
But yeah, that top right one is you as a young baseball player,
Oh, look at that face.
the
Look
elementary
at that
school grade.
face.
And the one on the left is your baby announcement.
Okay.
It said it's
I
a
was wondering about that one.
yeah, it said it's a person. And then the bottom right is you clapping whenever the cuckoo clock went off at my mom's house. You were when you were almost 2 year old.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. And Luke, what are the photos on your end that you shared?
So there's 3 photos here. The first one I think that at least that my eye goes to of those 3 is the 3-wheeler or the big
Yeah.
wheeler.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite toys growing up, and
Oh yeah.
we drove those things around like crazy. I remember I was so upset when they were too small.
Oh
It
no.
was a huge bummer. Just like with my Tonka truck that I used to I would sit on in my knees in the back of it and ride it down the hill in the front yard. Like when that started to really hurt, I was like, "What's going on? Why don't I fit in this anymore?" Um, but that was one of my favorite things. I remember those fireman hats, and that's in my backyard. Um, and then the one on the bottom left, that one is me as a baby, and that's my mom just sharing a special
Wow.
moment together.
So
Um,
sweet.
yeah, and then the
Look
other
at
one
that
on the
look.
middle right, we had this big bubble thing, which this is, I think a number of people had this. You just have this huge ring, and you can just make these massive bubbles, and this is a lot of fun. There's also one of my favorite shirts. So you can actually see Michael's head here, my little brother, the little red, like what looks like a plant, maybe, or like I don't know, on the bottom right, like that's just
Yeah,
his hair. Um,
that's
so
beautiful.
yeah, I think my face in this one is particularly funny. If you zoom in on it, I'm just making this weird little face.
Oh yeah, look at that cut too. Look at that bowl cut. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, I'm like,
That's really good.
uh, yeah, this is
That
an
is
actual photo.
awesome.
I took this in the backyard on the grass, in the backyard of my house, same place as where these photos are taken. And Eli had the idea to handwrite the the text for the
Yeah,
title.
that's your handwriting.
Yeah. So I wrote that on a Sharpie on a piece of paper, and then I took a picture of it and imported that into the photo editing software. It was a black Sharpie, so I inverted it so black became white and white became black in the image.
Nice.
And then when you put it onto your image, um, you can choose what's called a blend mode, and the blend mode will choose like what parts to keep and what parts to take away and to blend it in for how it blends it. So you can take it so you can make it so it removes all of the black with a mode called, I think
Okay.
it's screen, something like that.
Huh.
So, and then I lowered the opacity just to make it blend a little bit better. So if you look
Yeah.
carefully, you can kind of see the grass kind of faded. It's faded, but you can kind of see it through the letters a little bit, and that just helps it feel less like it's on top of the image and separate,
Right.
and more like it's blended in.
Right. Beautiful, man. Well done on that, and great ideas. And I'm glad that both of our moms made it to the album art as well.
Yeah.
You did
You
so
know, I tell all
good.
those people in the chat that
Yeah.
yes, I am proud of my wonderful son. He is awesome.
You are proud of me?
Uh, you are awesome.
Wow.
Proud of both of you for this song. My gosh,
Thank you, Mama.
incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks for jumping on the live stream and introducing yourself to folks. And thanks for being part of this beautiful piece. You bring so
course.
much joy and emotion to it. And I think the first part of the song was just the setup for you and Luke's mom to come in and really kind of share those words, those very special words that you had. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you.
Love you, Mama. Be well.
Love you. Bye bye.
Everybody said thank you, Eli's mom. Thank you.
Thank you. Eli's mom's son's fans.
See
Bye,
you, Mom. Bye bye.
See ya. One of the things I think was so cool about this whole process of writing this song together, because you just don't know what a song is going to be until it's done. Sometimes sometimes you think this is what a song is going to be. You try to make that, but I find the best songs always come from just following the golden thread, kind of wherever it goes, and letting the song become what it is. It's almost like the song is something separate that's finding its way through you, and you have to sort of like discover what that is. And when we wrote the whole song, we had this big bridge section, and we didn't really know what we were going to do with it. We just at first thought, let's have all this, space, and maybe kind of, have all like our voices be the main thing that's filling it in this cool way, and it could feel like it's the mother, calling. Like, and we thought about maybe having, some other like female singers that could maybe sing some
Right.
parts, stuff like that, for that divine feminine sort of thing. And then we were like, maybe this is actually good as it is without that, because it actually did turn out pretty great once we added in. It was kind of naked with just the voices, but once we added in the bass and the guitar, it felt a lot better. But then it was like, I think it was like the week of, because we were trying to obviously release this on Mother's Day, and obviously we got some delays, but we were trying to release it then, and when we were like a couple days out, it was probably like 4 or 5 days out, maybe max, from the release date. We were like, you know what? It would be really cool to have our moms in there, because we had thought about that, and they were like, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
But then we're just like, you know what? It would be great. Let's try to do it. And it just, we both had time to capture some things that our mom said.
Yep.
My mom and I, we actually had like a 50-minute conversation. It was like this
Wow.
really deep thing. I cried a lot. It was really beautiful and healing, very meaningful for me, and really special for her. And she felt really honored to be, part of the project, which is really, really great. And I didn't expect that to be something that came out of this conversation, but it was out of this project, but it's one of the best things, for me on a personal level. And that was part of
Wow,
why this
dude.
song just felt like so much more. I love making fun, upbeat pop songs and doing covers, but this one was just so much deeper. It just felt like, yeah, like this is like real art right here, And that part almost didn't happen, right? And then it became like, that's the part where people really respond to it.
Yeah.
And when I was trying to edit like the different parts, like, well, who should say what when and all that kind of stuff, I remember that idea that we talked about earlier of like, we want this to be something that, is not like so specific to us that it can't be something that, other people, don't connect with. And there were just these perfect lines that your mom said and that my mom said that were just like, this could be the voice that maybe somebody needs to hear this right now,
Yeah.
and it could
Yeah.
be that sort of stand-in mother.
Yeah.
um, so, one thing that's really interesting that I think of with this too is, my family used to be very religious, and I've talked a lot about that in the past. And one of the big things that really helped my dad with, was the fact that, like, his parents weren't around, right? Growing up. And so, you know, that was a big thing, was like God the Father was like the father that he never had. And that really helped him a lot. And I love that this could be something that, might do that same type of thing for somebody, that has a complex and difficult relationship, with their mom. I just thought it turned out really well, where it was like, I get emotional because it's my mom. What she says is so meaningful, but it also is that perfect balance where it's not so specific, that somebody else can't really hear that as, being their own. My buddy Sal, I showed it to him in the car this morning. We do like a weekly coffee at 7 a.m. every Friday. And he was just crying. He was like, dude, if this song was any longer, I'd be bawling my eyes out right now. It was great.
Oh man, so much emotion. Yeah, thank you for sharing that part, and just hearing that, just the conversation that you had with your mom around the song was, how much value and how important that was. Like, to me, that's what music is all about. You know what I mean? Like, having those conversations, those connections. And so I'm just so excited that this song is available, right? Like, in all the places for people to kind of like really connect to. So before we share the link and how you can listen to the song, let's just give some love to my mama here. Luis says, "Thanks, Eli's mom." Lavender says, "So sweet." Kim says, "Love Irene." Kay says, "Thank you, Eli's mom." And Nicole had a really great angle. She talks about there's also part of the song that I can see relating to what it feels like being a pet parent. So I love that too, just any kind of nurturing or caring. Janine says, "Your mom is beautiful." I think the same, Janine. And lots of love to everyone who is here with us on this very special Folk Friday. I'm Eli Lev. This is LJR. We have a new song called "Follow the Mother Home," and it features both of our mothers on it. And now it's out on all the things. So let's share the link and let's let folks know where they can go to listen to the song, follow the mother home. This is the special link that Luke set up. And let's talk about what are some ways that folks can help support the release. Luke, what are some ways that you tell your community, your fans, ways to kind of support a new release?
Yeah. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. Just obviously streaming the song as much as possible is really helpful when we're trying to get the song out there. Spotify is looking to see, are people listening to this song? How much are they listening to it? And if those numbers are really high, they've got something called a popularity score. And that's how they sort of rank how popular a song is and whether or not they should show it to new people on their playlist that they generate. And on our last song we did together, "You Should Probably Leave," we actually hit a popularity score of right around 30. And once you get over 20, they really start to push it a lot more. And so
Wow,
that's
cool.
huge. And so if you want to, especially if you're not listening to like a bunch of other music all the time, if you just pop on your Spotify, play it, set it to repeat that one song, and just turn the volume all the way down, just let it stream and get it out there. That's great. Sharing it with all your friends and family, anybody that that might need to hear this, that would be huge. If you like buying music, you can always go to Bandcamp and buy the song there and download it. Bandcamp is great. I'm just starting to get more into that. And yeah, I think those are the biggest things. Just think about and save it to your playlists, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anything else that you could think of, Eli?
I think that's great. I mean, I think if wherever folks listen to music, they can find it, which is great.
Yeah.
If folks just want to share it, they can go find it on YouTube Music or YouTube. But if they are Spotify listeners, there's a couple things that they can do on Spotify to kind of like, trigger the algorithm, you could say. And this is what you can do. You can go to the song and you can find it through either of our pages and just press this kind of plus button over here and add it to your playlist. And you can also add it to a playlist. So if you add it to a playlist and listen to that playlist, that helps. And you can, just play it down here, and you can kind of repeat that song for a little bit overnight if you want. That'd be awesome. But there's lots of ways to kind of trigger the algorithm is just by liking it, adding to a playlist, and giving it some plays on Spotify. But yeah, if you know somebody that might really benefit from the tune, or you want to send it to your family, your friends, you can use whatever platform you like to listen to music. And if you're a Spotify listener, any of those actions will be really helpful.
Indeed.
So should we?
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
are we going to make a video at some point? I think that could be really fun. We don't have to make it
Yeah.
on a particular timetable, but I think that could be really fun.
We're definitely gonna make a video because you're the video king. You're LJR creative.
There we go. Let's do it.
Okay, I love it. Let's bring Folk Friday to a close here. We'll listen to the song one more time. Thanks to everybody for joining Luke and I on our big release day for Follow the Mother Home. And shout out to everyone who's been listening and streaming.
Yeah.
And it means a lot. And Luke, this has just been a wonderful project. And so grateful for you and how we listened to each other during the project. There were some moments where you had some ideas, and I was like, that's great.
Oh, should we
And
talk about that one?
some of them weren't. No, we don't need to talk about
totally
it. It's
should.
okay.
It's
all right.
We should totally talk about that one. That'd be great.
Well, there was
Really
a few
fast.
moments.
That'd be
There's a few
fast.
moments. There's a few moments.
One of the we had some lyrical changes as we go through and iterate on the lyrics, and the last go to the last verse here.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Also, Caleb was asking, "Where's Sue?" That's my mom's name. And so I didn't know that Eli was going to bring on his mom today. That was total boss move, and
I didn't know either.
that.
Neither did she. She had no idea.
Oh,
As
so she just
usual.
having me. Okay, nice. I was like, damn, he must have planned this, and he didn't tell me about this. Where's my mom? I wasn't mad about it, but it was funny, and that's what Caleb was saying. So yeah, she might get featured on one of these. You never know. That's a great thing. This whole end chorus was interesting. I guess we didn't talk about this last chorus a whole lot. This chorus started out, I was thinking that we'd actually do sort of these. Oh, that's right. These lyrics, you wrote a couple of these lyrics, and this is part of your draft for the song in the little voice memo that you sent me. And I was trying to figure out, like, man, can we combine some? Because some of these were really nice lyrics, but it wasn't all 4 lines written out yet. And so I was thinking maybe we could do like a choir thing at the end, where we'd still have like the. I was thinking they would kind of go at the same time as like this, as the Follow the Mother Home, and instead we did, follow, and then instead of having Follow the Mother Home, I was thinking it would kind of layer with that, but it was definitely too jumbled together. And so we just replaced that section of the Follow the Mother Home with these other lines, and it just was like this wonderful thing. And we turned it into a little bit more of a choir thing. not super choiry, but a little bit like just more of our layered voices.
Yeah.
And it really kind of brought it home, I think, in this beautiful way. Where it's like we're reaching that moment of reconnecting, with where our story began. And this third line is the one I wanted to touch on, because I wrote the third line initially as because we were thinking like, let's go back to where things began and everything. And I was like, ooh, the womb will gift a dove. This idea that like, where we all started, in our mother's wombs, is going to give, it's like that's where it all began, and it'll give the dove, which is that sense of peace. And I thought, this is just beautifully poetic. I love this line. And then Eli was like, the visuals I'm getting from this line are just not palatable or appropriate. So we had a lot of conversations about this, and we ended up changing it to the dawn will gift a dove. That was, yeah,
and that was good.
It works great because it's the same poetic meaning, right? It's the
Right.
beginning,
Right.
So I still think either one, works great.
Yes.
And
And
maybe
you were a
when I
champion
play it
for-
live, I'll sing the womb will gift a dove, and you can sing the dawn will gift a dove. And people are like, why did you guys get the lyrics wrong there? I'm like, no, we got it right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and it was like, you were pretty adamant. You're like, no, that's going to be the line. And I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Actually.
we're both
I was like,
very
it's not going to be the line, actually. You're like, no, it is. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Watch this.
and this is where I realized, like, this is where I haven't done as many co-writes, and it's important even on lines where you care a lot. You're like, this is so good. Sometimes you have to be like, you know what, like it's okay for it to not be this way.
Yeah.
And I love how it turned out. I think it's really wonderful. There's usually like always going to be some other really wonderful solution, and also like to get too attached to a particular song and
Right.
is not really a great idea. Like you can always write more songs. If I love this line and it's not going to be used here, I could always use it in another song. There's other ways to kind of think about things, to kind of make things work.
Yes.
And it's very much a give and take. And that was a great area of growth for me to practice that. And I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the fact that you really made a lot of space, for that. So thanks, man.
Thank you. Let's listen to Follow the Mother Home one more time.
Let's do it.
And what a cool song. Luke, this has been amazing working with you on this tune. It's just the beginning. It's just out today. So we get to see where these vibrations take us. And thanks to everybody for supporting the song and sharing it with the folks you love. Let's listen to Follow the Mother Home one last time and conclude our very special Folk Friday today.
What have I done in the name of love? Do I still know my name written in my blood? Have I lost hope in a world alone? Try to hear the voice of a call I used to know. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home.
Through open fields, into your arms, a peaceful strength to keep me safe from harm. How would you feel? Should I say I'm sorry? Now we're grown. Would you look on me with pride? Though I'm lost and hardly pure, I'll follow the mother home.
Follow the mother home. Follow the mother home.
Being a mother means nurturing, sacrificing, learning, growing. As a mother, I just love what my children, who my children are.
It's joy. It's always joy. I never feel anything but joy when I see you. I never feel anything but joy when I hear you're coming. There just isn't anything that changes that. And I will always be here, no matter what happens. I'm not going anywhere.
Call us back again. To where our story began. The dawn will give a dove back to a mother's love. Though I'm lost and hardly pure, I'll follow the mother home.
All my life, I have loved you.
All right. Thank you guys
Wow.
for being here. Thanks for having
So
me. Eli.
special. I'm just going to go cry to myself in my room now for the next couple hours.
Just keep that song streaming, Eli.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Luke. You're the best.
Thanks, Eli.
Thanks
best,
to
man.
my mama for coming on the stream. And thanks to Sue, Luke's mama, for making such a wonderful piece of sonic art. Wow. Really, really, really beautiful. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And be well. Stream the song. Share it with folks you know. Add it to your playlists. If you want to be super awesome and stream it overnight tonight, that would be amazing. We'll give it some extra love. And yeah, big love to all you and all the mothers out there. Let me see if I can get my hearts going. Can you get yours? Did you get yours? Did I get mine? No.
Got it. Yep. These are pretty good hearts right here.
Those are good. Awesome.
There you go. Love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it.
Be well, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Luke.
Guys. Yeah.
Peace. Bye.
Bye.